Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, pilot offers a reward for lost plane, hurricane hunters finish flying Dorian, and European regulators insist on independent 737 MAX flight tests. Happy Friday and welcome to the show. I'm Sophie Herlock. The pilot and owner of a 1945 Grumman TBM Avenger is asking for help locating the airplane he was forced to abandon during a flight last year, and he's willing to pay $20,000 to anyone who finds the plane, though it's not as easy as it sounds. Ron Carlson and his crewmate were flying over the Fort Apache Indian Reservation near White River, Arizona, when a catastrophic engine failure and fire forced them to ditch the airplane. In order to help those willing to search find the airplane, Carlson will be posting updated, simplified images of where he believes the aircraft is located. And while that may not sound too challenging, the reservation is only accessible by tribal-issued permits. Entering the area is considered trespassing by the tribal government and is punishable by fines and seizure of property. So be sure to go through the proper channels before starting your search. If you do happen to find the plane, contact Carlson at ifoundtheairplane@gmail.com. Carlson says he knows some have searched hard for the plane with no luck, and he thanks them from the bottom of his heart. Stick around because we've got Around the Patch coming up right after these messages.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartford Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartford Propeller.
Today is a new dawn.
With a new name.
Un nuevo logotipo.
A new factor.
Und einen globalen Kundenfokus.
We are Continental Aerospace Technologies, and we stand behind you.
It's time for today's trip around the patch, where we'll be taking a quick look at some interesting news flying out of the aviation industry. Command Aerospace has received a new order for the K-MAX medium to heavy lift helicopter, bringing the total number of firm orders since the relaunch of the production to 12 aircraft. The most recent order is from Rotex Helicopter AG, which currently operates multiple K-MAX aircraft focused on aerial construction and logging. Delivery of this aircraft is expected in the fourth quarter of 2019. Boeing unveiled its 702X family of software-defined satellites, highlighting a 4,200-pound variant for geosynchronous orbit. The 702X technology enables operators to adapt to changing market conditions by dynamically allocating bandwidth. Advanced manufacturing process dynamically reduce costs and schedule risks, while allowing the 702X to be delivered to customers within 3 years. JetBlue has announced the newest round of grants from the JetBlue Foundation, the first airline foundation focused solely on supporting aviation and STEM education. This year, the foundation is fueling 13 programs with nearly $250,000 in grants to benefit their STEM and aviation initiatives. This round of grants will support education programs focused on mentorship and technical education training, with the goal of adding more diversity within the STEM and aviation industry. The FAA is seeking a $514,558 civil penalty against Aero Support International LLC of Doral, Florida, for allegedly selling ball bearings without the proper airworthiness documentation. The bearings are used in a component that ensures the aircraft generator provides a steady stream of electrical power to the aircraft. The FAA alleges between March of 2015 and July of 2017, the aerospace parts broker intentionally duplicated the proper airworthiness documentation of bearings it purchased legitimately to fraudulently attest to the airworthiness of dozens of other bearings it sold to 4 other companies. We'll be right back with the rest of the news.
Concorde's recombinant gas RG series sealed battery technology produces a high-performance battery with the advantages of being pre-tested and fully charged at the factory. Find out more about Concorde's entire line of batteries at www.concordebattery.com. Concorde, the heart of your aircraft.
The Sling II, a modern, economical flight training airplane for today's pilots. 120-knot cruise, sporty handling, sliding bubble canopy, modern glass panel, and dependable Rotax power. Available in LSA or kit versions. Check it out at airplanefactory.com.
The Air Force Reserve's 53rd Weather Reconnaissance Squadron, aka the Hurricane Hunters, have flown 25 missions from August 25th in support of Hurricane Dorian. Operations began with 3 C-130J aircrafts and 1 C-130J Super Hercules aircraft from the 403rd Wing departing Keesler Air Force Base August 25th for Curaçao to provide weather reconnaissance support of what was then Tropical Storm Dorian. The 3 weather crews assigned to the 53rd WRS have been flying fixed missions out of Curaçao the night of August 26th. The tactical airlift crew assigned to the 815th Airlift Squadron carried extra cargo and aircraft parts to support the weather aircraft. A fixed mission is when the aircraft collects weather data such as temperature, wind speed, wind direction, humidity, and surface pressure. Air crews fly through the eye of a storm 4 to 6 times to locate the low pressure center and circulation of the storm. During each pass through the eye, crews release a dropped sonde, which collects weather data on its descent to the ocean surface. The Hurricane Hunters continued flying fixed missions out of Curaçao until they repositioned to Homestead Air Reserve Base, Florida, on August 28th. As Dorian made its way closer to the Florida coast, the Hunters returned to Keesler AFB August 31st and continued operations from their home station. On Tuesday, EASA said it plans to send its own pilots and engineers to conduct their own test flights before allowing the airliner to resume to service in Europe. EASA is not sold on Boeing's plan to require 2 angle of attack sensors for the MCAS on the airplane, favoring a system that will require agreement of 3 independent sensors. The move is a major shift in certification reciprocity that has been the norm for years between the FAA and internal regulators. EASA is not demanding that Boeing address its concern for a 3rd AOA sensor before allowing a return to service, but the criticism is more specific than the regulator has been in the past. Installing a 3rd AOA sensor would likely be a prolonged and expensive proposition for Boeing. The fix would not only affect new airplanes, but would also require retrofit on aircraft that had already been delivered. Boeing has thus far declined to comment on the AOA sensor issue. And that wraps up our week, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe and check us out on Facebook and on Twitter. If you want to read up on some aviation and aerospace news this weekend, just head over to aero-news.net. I'll see you Monday.